Hi, welcome to the Car Care Nut channel. Let's talk about some Camrys today. I am a Toyota Master Diagnostic Technician with over a decade of experience. So let me tell you about the Camry from what I see, from what I work on every single day, from the inside out, not from the outside in. This is part one of a series that I'm going to be making on my new channel. We're going to talk about model by model, year by year, common problems, things to look out for, and the best advice for you guys. So stay tuned for that. So the first model year we're going to talk about is 2007 to 2009. That is a pre-facelift model, the pretty ones. Well, the post-facelift models are supposed to be the pretty one, but that's up to you. Anyways, so I'm going to break this down into sections: engine, transmission, body, chassis, and electrical. Let's start with the four-cylinder models. Now, the biggest problem with this model is oil consumption. You should probably Google, looked around. Oil consumption is a huge problem for these engines. However, Toyota did fix these problems. There was a customer support program. We did hundreds. Best days of the dealership between you and me. But if you buy one that hasn't been fixed and fixed properly, you're gonna have problems. Very bad problems. It's just a snowball effect that keeps, you fix the engine, now the catalytic converter fails, now spark plugs fouled, all kinds of problems, misfires. Just do your research on the engine. You can call any dealership, ask them if the CSP was done, they'll let you know, or any good mechanic will be able to tell you if this engine has been torn apart before. Look at the sealer. The sealer from the factory is gray. The sealer we use at the dealership is black. You find that black sealer everywhere in the engine. Likely it's been taken apart and fixed. Unfortunately, buying this car with this engine, you can't know if this thing's been fixed, if it burns oil or not. You're just gonna buy it, drive 1,000 miles, and the oil light will come on. And now too late. Now moving on to the V6 engine. Now the V6 engine, bulletproof. Nothing goes wrong with the V6 engine. However, just like any other car, now we're going to talk about both 4 cylinders and 6 cylinders. Coolant leaks. They're very common with age, with lack of maintenance. People seem to buy Toyotas and say, oh, I'm just going to drive it till the wheels fall off, but they don't do anything else. Just drive it. Well, you still got to maintain it. So, coolant leaks. Everybody who owns a Camry will tell you, you'll go through 2-3 water pumps through its life. Not expensive, nothing crazy. It leaks, makes noise, replace it and move on. And then there's oil leaks. Yeah, that's, I have answered so many questions. Well, my car burns 2 quarts, 3 quarts, 4 quarts. Well, the engine takes 4 quarts, it can't be more than that. Burns 4 quarts in 1,000 miles, what do I do? You need to fix your 4-cylinder because it's burning it. It's not leaking. No leak will leak 4 quarts at 1,000 miles. You'll have a swimming pool in your driveway. So coolant leaks, water pumps, radiators, the normal stuff. This seems to be a chronic water pump leak. That's just the way it is. It's a great car, but every car has a downfall, and that's one of them. Radiators on the V6, they're a little bit more complicated. Water pumps on the V6, a little bit more expensive. Nothing crazy, nothing that will total the car. Now the V6 does have a notorious thing that would total the car. Head gasket leak, external. Coolant, head gasket leak. Doesn't mix oil and coolant and all the nine. You can probably drive it till the wheels fall off with that leak, but it's a coolant leak. The coolant will go down, water pump's fine, radiator's fine, hoses are fine. It just disappears until you lift the car and really look right. Lo and behold, a giant coolant leak from the head gasket. That's something you gotta look for. It's usually rust belt. The gasket rusts from the outside and starts leaking. Really unknown. Toyota has not elaborated on this. This engine's bulletproof. I've seen ones with a leaking head gasket that run for thousands and thousands of miles. But don't get me wrong, come to me. I'll fix your car, I'll fix your head gasket. But just don't buy one with a blown head gasket. Let's talk about transmissions. Ooh, I got a big list. Nothing. I'm dead serious. Nothing. I've replaced more transmissions from accident damages than anything else. The V6 transmission, the 6-speed, a little touchy on the fluid. Some of them had the sealed trans where you can't check the fluid and all that fancy stuff. Just have the dealer change your fluid every 60,000. I know the manual says don't replace it, but the manual gets you to your warranty time. So change that fluid every 60, you'll be fine. Chassis. I got the good old laptop with me because this is it's a big list. Nothing big. It's a great car. Great car. So first thing is power steering leaks. And you know, I've never replaced a pump. Just be honest. So power steering leak, there's a power steering return line, goes from the reservoir all the way to the front of the car, loops back, goes back to the lines to the rack and pinion. Notorious to leak. You can probably, a part less than $100, fix it, be done with it. Rack and pinion leaks on these, but nothing really crazy or big leak or very expensive to fix, but by the time it really leaks bad, I might tell you just get rid of the car because it's too old. Moving on, struts. Struts seem to be something that haunts these cars, but again, most of your aftermarket shops will recommend to replace them every 50,000. On some Toyotas, I'd say that's not the case, but on the Camry, yeah, they're right. Just replace it. You'll be fine. And if you're living in a rust belt like I do, Chicago area, the springs can have a nasty habit of breaking. They just break on you. You hear a giant rattle, all of a sudden the car just drops on the floor. Again, replace the struts. Place the springs. It's maintenance. It's like you do your oil change. Some parts, it's like you do your spark plugs. Some parts have their life, and that's that. I'm gonna go over the chassis sprinkle. Yeah, I call it sprinkle. It's not big stuff. So you got sway bar bushing, especially in the back. You get a car in the shop, the whole rear end feels like it's falling apart. Just the whole car makes such a horrible noise. They're $20 bushings. Don't freak out. Fix them, move on. And then, not as common, but with age, they start to get more common. Front lower control arms, bushings tear. Yeah, sure, you can replace the bushing, just replace the whole arm. You can do it once and you won't do it again for the life of the car. A little expensive, but again, I haven't seen bad ones where they rip completely, but they start. And wheel bearings. It's a sealed wheel bearing, 100,000 miles. I wouldn't feel bad if my car's wheel bearing goes bad at 100,000 miles. It's a sealed bearing, there's no service. Just replace it. I wouldn't run away from a car that has a wheel bearing noise. I'd actually buy it because that's not bad. Exhaust leaks. If you live in the beautiful city of Chicago or anywhere up north, it's gonna rust and it's gonna cost you a lot of money, but I guess that's something you're used to from any other car you own that gets old. That's normal. Flex pipe in the front, notorious to leak. And you can buy the original one for thousands and thousands, or you can go to a muffler shop and have it patched up every 2 years and you're good to go. Last but not least, steering intermediate shafts. That's Toyota terminology for you. Well, you drive the car, you turn the wheel, clunk, clunk, clunk. Scares everybody. It's a scary sound. It's nothing. It's just a shaft that's losing its grease and now it's clunk, clunk, clunk. Bothers you so much, replace the shaft. You willing to get your hands greasy? Put some oil, put some grease in the shaft and you're good to go. If you drive a Camry, turn the wheel, clunk, 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 don't freak out. Negotiate the price though, but don't freak out. All right, now let's talk about body. Well, there's not much there. I mean, people complain about very minimal rust, usually when you don't maintain it, bad body repair, something like that. But the most notable thing that people talk about, rock chips. Factory paint, chips super easy. So you see paint chips, fix them. Bottle touch of paint, fix it and you're good as long as they're not rusted. Especially if you live in the beautiful city of Chicago. That's gonna rust pretty quick. Other thing is rattles. If you drive, you stop the car and drive, you hear all kinds of rattling. Seems like engine related. Well, I see people come in the shop and they're like, oh, my engine's gonna blow up. Sounds like it's gonna blow up. Well, it's just a heat shield. Again, rusted. If you live down south, you won't have to worry about this. Another thing is, if you have a sunroof in the car, now I generally recommend you don't buy a sunroof car that's old, but if you must, here's the only problem I know, other than clogged sunroof drains, but that happens to any car. Clunk. You're going to your driveway, go over the hump, giant clunk from the roof. This was a known problem. You have to tear the headliner down. My fix for it, what I recommend folks do is, you got that little knob in the middle of the dash, raise it, because it's not worth fixing. It's tiny, it's nothing. It's two pieces of metal that are clunking against each other. It's not worth the investment, it's not worth fixing. If I got a warranty, sure, fix it. If not, I wouldn't worry about it too much. It just feels like the whole roof's gonna come flying off. Now electrical. Now Toyotas don't have a lot of electrical problems. Some of them do. This one does. Early build 2007 Camrys. They had a notorious ABS problem. Really by now most of them are fixed, but I'm just gonna throw this one out there. You're driving the car, speedo drops to zero, all kinds of electrical Christmas festivities, and then everything goes back to normal. ABS pump, expensive to fix. You really gotta do a good test drive if you're buying an early build 2007. Other electrical problems, V6 likes to chew up O2 sensors, oxygen sensors, sorry. It's, again, not a big expense. To wrap up this video, let's talk about the bullet points, things that I would really make or break this purchase. First one is, if you're buying 4-cylinder, make sure that engine has been fixed. If the engine hasn't been fixed, I'd walk away. Call your dealership, ask around, do some investigative work. That engine has got to be fixed. If it hasn't been fixed, walk away. There's plenty of Camrys out there that's been fixed. I can tell you because I've done hundreds. Other things, if you're buying a V6, make sure there are no oil leaks. Anything with that V6 oil leak related, engine has to come out of the car. Unless you want to live with drip drip on the driveway and the garage, then don't buy it. It's very simple. V6 is a beautiful engine, but it has its quirks like anything else. Check the car. Don't buy a heavily damaged car. I don't recommend you buy a salvage car unless you know where it came from, who fixed it, and how it was fixed. Check the Carfax. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're not a DIY mechanic, you're not someone who knows cars, just have a mechanic inspect it. Show him my video. He'll know. Every good mechanic will just watch this video and know exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see, Camry is full of problems. I'd avoid it. Run for the hill. If you're gonna buy a good car, BMW B7 Alpina. Ask Kuvi's Garage for that one. He'll tell you all about it. No, don't do that. No, oh, cut, don't do that. Thank you guys for watching this video today. I hope it was helpful, informative for you. Please subscribe, like the video, support my channel. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you're welcome to email me at thecarcarenut@gmail.com. I will be happy to respond to your question. Or if you just want to say, hey, whatever car you end up buying, I hope that the Lord blesses it, that He puts His holy power over it, and it serves you for years to come. Thank you.